Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 48 of our Let's Play Divinity Original Sin 2. I'm IVATOPIA, you are?
SupernovaTiffy.
And I'm reading the next one. A few of them are in good spirits, especially the children. The others are sudden. Sullen? Don't blame them. Change is rough, but they'll make you friends sooner or later, and when we cure them for good, they'll be thanking us, not cursing! Well, most of them. The elf with the dice, that lone wolf, the creaky voiced woman in the kitchen, some folks won't get over it. Reckon they won't be first to get cured, if they ever cured at all.
Magister Gerlin Ryder, day 230, Lucian leading charge at front, heading towards Elfland. Day 231, Lucian parlayed with Damien, no peace for father and son. Day 232, had no idea about death fog. Everything dead, everything black ring, but Lucian too. What? Returning to Arcs, guess we won. With the defeat of the black ring, people thought peace had fully come, but then the Voidwoken started appearing.
Done that one? Request sorcerer hold. Pumpkin yeast flour 1 crate. Sunflower 1 crate. Turnip 3 crates. Cabbages 1 crate. Human ale half a crate. This is a quick one too. Sorcerer hold. Pumpkin flour. Oh, it's the same one.
No.
That's the same one.
I've had a few that done that.
Request for magic food supplies. Request for sorcerer's food supplies.
Oh.
So
Blank erase, asking the mighty god, blank one of the 7 of the power to fly, blank an exclamation, shrieked the god, how dare you, you're no better than blanks another of the 11. Silly folk, sacrifice your finest blank object to me on blank day, or I shall smite thee with a plague of blank unclean beast.
The Sorcerer King insists. Oh, Source King! Sorcerer King's a different game. Startup game. The Source King insists there are no magics to foul, even those that would block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness. It is an invitation to manipulate all which we once believed immutable. He provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath lists a series of hexes and materials required for muting source. Some of those objects are circled in black ink and atoned as follows: helm, collar, mask. Oh, journey update. 2 new journey updates available.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this because that popped up when I opened this book, and I don't want to miss it. From the desk of her ladyship, Dallas, right hand of Bishop Alexander, son of the divine, to our brave troops in Fort Joy, we warned a tribulous, bothersome, but not altogether dishonored group, disorganized group of rebels calling themselves Seekers have set their eyes on some of our sorcerers. They may or may not have facilitized the escape of at least 2 special ones, and you are forewarned to be on high alert. If any so-called seekers are found, they are to be delivered to my person directly for a treatment and only I may administer. Mistakes and missteps will not be tolerated. D.
This too contains no text, instead sketches of dragons fill every page. The artist is hardly talented but clearly enthusiastic. The source hunters valiant through their work could not have foreseen Bracchus' resurrection at the hands of the cult of the Immaculate. We owe our very lives to 2 more of the very order the first fought to bring Bracchus' resurrection. That's us, isn't it, in game 1?
Mm-hmm.
The Source King is dead, yet his monuments still dot the land. A chilling but necessary reminder of his legacy of cruelty, greed, and arrogance.
Bye, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name. Rain and lightning, blood and oil. These are the ingredients of Revlon's most explosive recipes. Consider these combinations when trolls come seeking a holy holiday feast. Fire and water for a nice, sizzling steam bath. Fire and oil when a small, contained blaze just isn't enough. Fire and blood, because there's nothing more fearsome than a cloud of blood. Fire and poison. Consider the blast your guest main course. And the ensuing midst their dessert. And remember, you can add electricity to any cloud of shocking spicy for a shocking spicy finish.
Sorcerer monarchs once performed great deeds across the lands, and in his first days Brachus did so from the isle he called home. But in time, as is true of so many things, he became increasingly corrupt by sauce. So great was his greed and his fear that crafted a soul forge with his twin, Cassandra. Once the ritual was complete, Brachus turned her into an undead lynch, so that she and thus he might live forever.
Okay. Noxious bulbs grow in the temperature regions of Revlon. They thrive in open areas where their intricate root systems can freely grow. Commonly used as a means of security, noxious bulbs are well known for their vivid colors and their equally vivid defense mechanisms. Once they are fully grown, they appear in a multitude of variations. The effects of the bulbs roughly match their appearance, as well as the elements of which the bulb is most susceptible. For instance, a red, noxious fire bulb is susceptible to fire, and a yellow, noxious earth bulb is susceptible to earthen elements. They are very sturdy flowers. They are hard to destroy or uproot, but if one does manage to destroy them, they will hardly go down without a boom.
Over many brutal decades, Brachus' tyranny spread. His hunger for source and political power drove him to develop hideous devices and magic heretofore unknown, what it means. He punished the living with death and the dead with undeath. Yeah, so he punished the people by killing them, but then he made the people already dead undead. Many attempted to stand up to him, wizards, philosophers, scholars, but it was the order of the source hunters that ultimately forced Brachus Rex to atone for his sins.
Okay. Military Essays 1. What makes an expert swordsman? There are 3 types of swordsmen. The beginners, the bravados, and the masters. If you have already learned the basic techniques, you can easily distinguish the beginners from the experts. A beginner does not know how to hold a sword properly, and his fighting stance is completely unbalanced. The bravadors are reversed in the revs in the arts of sword fighting, but they reveal their knowledge merely through exhibition. They can find many bravos at fairs where they demonstrate their skills in front of the excited masses. A real swordsmaster is a member who travels from town to town to teach their skills, but he will always hide his best tricks. A true swordmaster will teach you everything you know, not everything he knows.
Slide contains a set of instructions for transport sorcerers to a place called the Joy, where someone has inked an angry black line from the top left to the bottom right. Leather scraps, huh?
It says, the author delights in regalizing you with long, tedious tales of skinning and tanning the hides of various animals. The animals seem less delighted. The practical skills can be gleaned are few, but valuable for the rest. That is time you'll never get back. For this, you would tan the author's own hide.
First night here, don't seem like it'll be too bad. Found somewhere quiet to sleep. Brought enough dry bread to last me. When all this blows over, I'll be happy to say I survived it in comfort. Group of dumb brutes shook me down for my bread. We'll have to get smart if I want to eat. Met an old fisherman named Rad. Taught me how to make a net. Rad's gone. Dumb brutes took my net. At least the meanest one got took in the night getting hungry. I always was a strong swimmer. Waters around here are pretty glassy. Can't be much more than a few miles to shore, can it?
Tales of the Seven Gods. The seven gods were still young when they decided that each of them should have their own race to guide throughout the eternal flow of time, and thus it happened that Ralik, the most powerful of all gods, became the patron of the humans, and Barley Duna created the dwarves in his own likeness and even lived among them in the mountainous caverns. Tyr Sindelius, the poet, went to the woods and created the elves. He blessed them with near immortality and wisdom. The reptile goddess Zoroaster wished to command a proud warrior race, and thus she created the lizard people, fierce fighters from the wastelands. The god Rhalgr, renowned for his brutality and violence, created the orcs and enslaved them for more than 300 years before he left Rivlon. Zatuza, the goddess of myth and laughter, wanted an intelligent race versed in the art of magic around her. She created the imps, who were talented magicians and engineers. The goddess Imadia was an outsider, preferring to live in complete solace, and created in the centuries. As the centuries passed, the six races spread over the continent. One day, Amidia's dalliance with a wizard resulted in the birth of several demigods. She created her own lover, Immortality, and decided that she would act as a patron mother of the wizards. Although wizards are not considered as a separate race, they have always had their own goddess to pay tribute to.
Fascinate is known as the hardest, most dense plant in all of Rivendell, but what looks like useless lump does have some redeeming qualities. Among these things is renowned for getting rid of nasty, embarrassing rashes. This book also describes how warriors of old tamed the plant to grant them a healthy life.
A sorcerer muses on how the combination of magical elements in Shive, a club, stick, and a bow may provide with them a makeshift wand.
There it is.
I don't remember reading the bloody note.
I don't know about this one. The sins of sorcerers inbound. We are all of us marked by this strange power, both creative and destructive. It is no wonder some are seduced to manipulate it. Still, there is a stark difference between that which is undesirable and that which is possessible. Sins of Source has no place within our realm. Time and again it has gone ranching within its host, being used to torture and kill. Cold beasts of unspeakable horror to their minds cannot be continued.
29 Smithton. Our military capabilities are improving. Silent monks prove effective. Foot soldiers obedient to the end. They are sometimes prone to bouts of lightlessness and melancholy. Curbly by the sort of source. Keep 'em hungry, keep 'em stable.
Claws of Descent. Since I was a young girl, my mother always used the name of the lone wolves to strike fear into my heart. Bed by 8, don't be late. When hoots the owl, the wolves will prowl. where other children from the upper parts of Ark played Magistrate versus Black Ring, in our lonely district we only played a game called Contract, each taking turns to be the lone wolf hunting assassin targets. Little was I to know that years later I'll be plucked from those very streets by their leader, Rust Allen himself. Page 2. Oh, I have fallen on hard times then. The hardest. I was but a scullery girl in the chambers of Lord Linder's Kemp, forever trying to steer clear of his hard-ridden wife, Paulina, while I met the handsome Roost. Oh, so handsome, one night as I dolefully scurried home from market with the fresh tea leaves Lady Paulina had ordered. Pay no heed to any other rumours you may have heard. It was at the market I met him, and no mistake. He saddled up to me, all bright teeth and cheekbones. By the time I found out he was a lone wolf, it was too late. He already had the keys to Cayman's mansion, all the good silverware, and my heart. Now let me tell you how it all happened. All the following pages were ripped from the book by a violent hand. Wow.
This notebook is filled with meticulous notes observing the traits and habits of the mortal races. It details the foods they ate, the clothes they wore, and their speech pattern. It also includes some rather confused diagrams of their mating habits. Okay, and then there is this letter that I received. Well, not I received, but I picked it up. Naren, you have saved me with the past. You will do so again. Use the scroll included in this letter and cast it in a public square in Eric's. You will be arrested for source use and shipped to Fort Joy. Once on the island, you will search for a red-skinned lizard.
Me.
You will kill him!
Hey! Leave me alone!
You will cut the body to pieces. You will ensure no magic in the world can restore him back to life. You have your orders. Your weight in gold awaits you. Good luck and good hunting.
So we stopped her, didn't we? When she just tried it. So
yeah.
We should make sure I could come back. Rumba. Okay, what else have we got in here? Son against father's death in the...
What are you doing, putting all the books away?
Yeah, I read that one, the F1's in there. I did read that one, didn't I? The dramatic retell... Yeah, I read that one. What?
Nothing.
What's this one? All we not seen the ability to change from one form to another has been the stuff of myth and legend as long as people have told stories. While he does not rush to judgment for carrying Hulbert, the idea seems potentially heretical. He does, however, seem deeply fixated on the possibility that a man, and it may be noted that Hulbert is indeed a man, may spend time as a chicken. And with that, we're going to end this episode, I think. I think we're almost finished these books, so let's grab a good stuff to tune in next week. Tune in next week. Alongside
SupernovaTiffy.
And bye, everyone.
Bye.